AITA for not doing a favor for my dad and telling him I don't owe him or his favorite wife and kids favors. After our mom died, Dad told me and my siblings, 17 male, 16 female, and 14 male, that he was glad that part of his life was over and he was going to find someone he actually loved and wanted to be with, and we better be ready because he wasn't slowing down for us. This was 10 years ago. He met a few women before his wife of 9 years. They were together a few months before they got married, and she was pregnant right away. Dad said he knew she was the one. He was finally in love. That mom was his biggest regret in life. My sister would cry, which annoyed Dad. He'd say we should want him to be happy when he sacrificed his own happiness for us. He's a better dad to the kids he has with his wife. He's there on their birthdays, remembers to buy them gifts, takes them out for ice cream, or for special time with him. He comes home earlier to spend time with them before they go to bed and helps with their homework. He never did that with us even after he started changing. My sister and brother really wanted him to for the longest time. But I always knew he was a shit parent and that he wasn't going to change toward us. We always fought. He told me the three of us were born selfish, that we wanted him to be unhappy for our sakes. I told him he basically dumped his issues onto 3 grieving kids and didn't give a fuck about what that did to us. I reminded him that my brother was only 4 years old when we lost Mom. Dad's response was that if I cared so much about them, I should care even more about my younger half-siblings. I told him I didn't. I have told him that a few times since my first half-sibling was born. In truth, I never spend any time with the halves or engage with them. It's me and my brother and sister, and I put my time and love into them. My siblings have reached out to Dad and asked for him to love them and spend time with them, but his focus is on the family he wants, his favorite family as I think of them. I don't think of them as mine. Dad's wife and one of his favorite kids had birthdays a day apart. His gift for one was delayed/late or whatever, and he wasn't going to pick both up on time, already a day late for one of them. So he asked me to do a favor for him and pick up one gift while he picked up the other. I said no. He told me I could do a favor for him since he's my dad, yada yada. I said no. The day came and went and I didn't get it. He freaked out and told me I was going to ruin the birthday. He told me I could have done a favor for him as we're all family. I told him I don't owe him or his wife or his favorite kids any favors. I reminded him that he owed his kids being a good dad and he wasn't to the 3 of us, so I'm not going to save his ass or do something that makes his favorite family happy because innocent or not, they are not my problem. He said I was such a child. Then he got my uncle to say how disappointed he was that I acted so petty. AITA, NTA, your dad is the biggest louse of the year. The idea that he thought to tell 3 grieving children that he was glad their mother died and now he could get on with his life and marry another was reprehensible. I wouldn't have done squat for him either. You and your siblings need to work to getting away from this monster and cut all contact as soon as you can. On to story 2. AITA for refusing to let my best friend's fiancé propose at my wedding? So, I, 30 female, got married last month to the love of my life, and everything went off without a hitch, except for one awkward moment. A week before the wedding, my best friend, Maya, 29 female, asked if her fiancé Jake, 28 male, could propose to her at my reception. Apparently, Jake thought it would be romantic and was convinced that it would make their moment more special. Now, I love Maya, but the idea of having my wedding overshadowed by their proposal didn't sit right with me. I politely said no and suggested they have their own special day. Maya seemed a little disappointed, but she said she understood. On the wedding day, I noticed Maya and Jake were acting distant, and it was clear something was off. I later found out that Jake was upset with me for ruining his plan and felt like I'd been selfish for not allowing them to share in the love of the day. AITA for refusing to let them have their proposal at my wedding? Or was I being selfish by not letting them make it a double celebration? NTA. Your wedding day is about celebrating you and your partner, not serving as a backdrop for someone else's proposal. Proposals at weddings are often seen as inappropriate because they can shift the focus away from the couple being celebrated, which is exactly why you were right to say no. Honestly, your friend should have known better than to ask in the first place. It's common sense that it's rude to make someone else's wedding about you, and I don't understand why she even thought that would be okay. It's your day, not an open mic for other people's romantic gestures. You weren't selfish, you were just setting a completely reasonable boundary. Stand by your decision, and don't feel bad for keeping the spotlight where it belonged. On you and your partner. On to story 3. AITA for not giving up my bed? I live with my girlfriend. We live in a 3-bedroom apartment, but only our bedroom has a bed in it. Often of the rooms is used as an office for me, and the other is more of a storage room. My girlfriend went out with a friend at the weekend. When they were out, her friend got a message from someone with proof that her boyfriend was cheating on her. They lived together, so she didn't want to go home. My girlfriend told her she could stay with us for the night, but didn't tell me until they'd arrived back. My girlfriend asked if I'd have the sofa for the night so her friend can have the bed. I refused since I'm not going to be kicked out of my own bed. I told her that her friend can have the sofa, but also that it's only for the night and she can't stay any longer than that. My girlfriend said I was being unfair and her friend should have the bed, but I just said she can have the sofa or stay somewhere else. AITA for not giving up my bed? NTA. There is no way in hell I would give up my bed. That's your personal space. To me, that's like asking to borrow someone's underwear. You just don't do that. Your GF should have given you a heads up on her friend staying, and she should have discussed before agreeing. I wouldn't want someone just crashing on my couch all the time, either, so while I would put a limit on the stay, I think she should be allowed to stay more than one night. But that's just my opinion.